The first thing that comes to mind when you say mental ill health, it's something that we cannot see. So, so even though somebody might look completely okay to you, they might be struggling with something on the inside.
I think mental health is when you're emotionally happy and you're just nothing affects you too much, and mental illness is maybe when, I don't know, maybe you've been through an experience that affects you emotionally.
Are they not similar? I would assume they're similar.
I think it means that you're not feeling right in your head in the way that you would expect to feel, and it's hard because you don't necessarily feel like you can talk to other people about it, and you feel like you're the only person going through it.
Mental health to me is looking after yourself and looking after your stress levels and what you have to cope with, and it goes up and down depending on how stressed you are. And mental illness is if you suffer with something that has to be clinically looked after by the medical profession.
Well, mental health means being sort of conscious of what's going on in your own brain and being able to dictate the fact that like something might be wrong. And a mental illness is just an illness that attacks your brain. So it's a regular illness, like any disease, just attacks your brain.
I didn't know there was a difference.
No one really talks about it, but I feel like it should be talked about because it's like a serious topic, and sometimes you might like not know that you have it, but because it's like not because like no one raises awareness about it, because you don't know you might not have it. It's like it can be quite like distressing if you do have it and you don't know you have it.
Not functioning properly. I guess not being happy in a way is mental illness. Although there's obviously lots of reasons for that. Mental health, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's mental illness.
Mental illness, mental health. It's a state of mind that's not socially accepted to the norm.
I mean, it's something that should be thought of very highly, because if I get an illness, whether it be like get sick or something, your brain is also should be thought of the same thing.
I feel that mental health is something that you can work on, and that is something that is basically just being aware of your thought process and why sometimes you might, for instance, get anxious or like get stressed, and understanding the reasons behind this. And mental illness is having trouble where your brain goes into stress and anxiety reactions without you knowing the cause underneath it, and trying to figure out what is wrong with that is the way to solve mental illness.
Well, not very much really. I mean, they go together, don't they? Mental health must be when there is no mental illness, but what the definition of mental illness is, I would have to look up or rely on an expert.
Mental health and mental illness. Well, I think mental health is when it's good and bad both, yeah. And mental illness is when you start feeling not okay mentally.
I think mental health encompasses well-being.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're talking about mental health, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is not healthy or refers to ill health, whereas when you specify illness, you're talking about someone who is unwell, who basically is ill. That is put sort of simply.